And I'm going to invite now an SMME who is now going to give us his own take as far as the experience that he's had in the industry. And it's none other than Isaac Boshomane, who's running a business and has extensive experience within the sector. Isaac, you got 10 minutes to walk us through your story, the journey that you have walked so far.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I don't know, am I audible? Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, thank you. As indicated, I'm Isaac Boshomane from Kgabo. Kgabo is a Soshanguve Township based workshop which service, repair, and maintain motor mechanic vehicles. And while we do that, we also take learners from the TVET colleges who have graduated on the theoretical side and need practical exposure so that they can gain skills and experience so that they can go for trade tests to become artisans. So we do what we call WIL, Work Integrated Learning. And what we do, we make sure when they come from our workshop and training center, they don't need to go anywhere to make any preparation before they go for trade test. So when they come in, we have one-stop shop. We have the training side, what we call institutional training, and then we also have the workshop side for experience. We are workplace approved by MESITA to train the competency-based modular training level 1 to level 4, which is the end of the CBMT. We are also workplace approved to train automotive repair and maintenance, level 2 to level 4. So we have two streams of taking the apprentices to become qualified artisans. They all go for trade test at the Olifantsfontein Training Center, at Fort Fury, at Indlela. I mean, Indlela is Olifantsfontein, at Centurion, at McCarthy, at AA. So they go and be tested where the other people from OEM dealerships are tested. So when they qualify, they have the national qualifications, which is obtained by any artisan within the country. Thus far, we have graduated 68 artisans, and 16 of whom are ladies. I had my colleague from AIDC saying the ladies are nowhere to be found. I can assure you we have the ladies. And on top of that, what we have done, our aim is also, while qualifying them, and we are happy that they are all employed after we qualify. So our training is for impact, it's not just for activity. And the others decide to employ themselves, there's creating another opportunity because they will first be self-employed, then they need other people to help them, just like we did. I started on my own, but today we have over 10 people who are helping to develop this young TVET college. I mean, we have 272 TVET colleges in South Africa. Every 3 months, they produce theorists, and those theorists need workplaces like the small ones we have. I mean, we have the big dealers with their workshops, but we cannot leave it to the dealers only because they cannot be capable of taking those large numbers. That is why, from my perspective, if we can have more small businesses, especially in the townships where these learners come from, and we develop them and we help them to have models like we have, then I think the economy of this country is in a better place. What we can say the challenges are, though we say we have produced, it's like when you take a coin, one side is very good. On the other side, when you check the demand, when you check the lack of skills that we still have, it's like is not even a drop in an ocean. So the challenges that we come across, let me also mention, there was a collaboration between MESITA and the Gauteng Education Department, where they had 210 learners throughout the country, and each province was having 21 of them. Gauteng had Soshanguve Technical High School as one of the schools that represent the province. And all those learners were given to us. All 21 were trained here, and I can tell you that 3 of them are now artisans. Because of COVID-19 lockdown, we stopped the other testing. As soon as we open, they will be tested. Before a long time, we'll have them. We are going to be inviting the MEC of Gauteng to come to our graduation with the products between MESITA and them. And we also cater for the technical high schools, because today's syllabus now says from grade 10 to grade 12, they don't need to go to TVET colleges, which is a great thing. Now we can take them from the high school with matric, then we can just do the practical on the job. The challenges that we have from the township is not easy to train, because to comply is a mammoth task. We need the support of government and private sector. From government side, we know it's not easy to amend policy, but the grants that we are having for the learners, we have only discretionary grants, which contributes only to 46% of the training cost. We as the SMME, we have to come up with the deficit of 54%, which we get only from the walk-in customers. If we can have the amendment to say the discretionary grant is this much, which contributes to 46%, but if you are operating from the township or rural area, we amend it by a certain percent to help you. The other thing can be the government departments can also help by bringing the fleet to us, which will help us as SMME with the revenue. And on top, it is giving us the more capacity for the learners to do their on-the-job practical within the stipulated time given by the CETA's QCTO and NEMP, so that we don't even stretch that 46%, because if we don't have enough cars and they are not covering the practical aspect needed before they go for trade test, then it says to us we have to prolong and now stretch even that 46%. So if we can have the support from both. Now from the private sector side, we have companies which, after seeing me on 702, or listening to me on 702 after becoming the lead SA Hero of the Year for both Gauteng and nationally, they came and they sponsored 4, not at 46%, but at 100%. And they are getting their BEE scorecard right. And we are saying we are actually barely surviving on that support with the other learners that we have. Imagine if we can have the 2 aspects I talked about on the amendment of the percentage and the fleet from the government departments. For us to service and charge the department, we do quality job because all our artisans are qualified. And for every 3 learners, we have a qualified mentor to work with. So the job is still guaranteed. So we are also RMI member since July 2012. And we are also working on their new venture creation, where we have other small SMMEs together, where we're training on how to run the business. And I believe with this, otherwise the challenge is sometimes as SME, we have the support of CEDA saying this is how you must run your business. You must make profit. But now you have the other departments say, please help our students, even with this 46%. Now you go to CIFA, you are asking for the loan. They say, are you profitable? Then you say, no, because I'm carrying this 54% deficit. I'm not profitable. Then they can't even help you because you will not be able to pay back their money. So we have one entity of government saying, no, help them, please. And then the other entity say, because you are not profitable, we are not going to help you financially. So we are sitting between the rock and the hard surface, but we still want to develop, because if we cannot take care of these young ones and develop them with skills, they are going to go for drugs, nyaupes, and all that, and the country will just plunge into a plague. So we just need to come up with ways, and we need other platforms like this one so that we can debate how can we do it? How did you overcome these obstacles from a township? And I think from that point of view, we can get more and more of our youth off the street and into the economic sector. Thank you. I'll answer questions as we go along.
Okay. Thank you, Isaac, for that insightful address to us, and congratulations for your accolades.
Thank you.
I'd like to maybe just ask a question to also link it a bit to what Maseko mentioned. If you look at the township hubs, specifically at Winterveld, as mentioned, being one of the primary examples which we have in this country to date, one of the biggest challenges that we've experienced is around the actual capabilities, technical capabilities, business capabilities of these SMEs in order to thrive within a hub. All right. And very often when we go into these hubs, we do participate with the community SMEs, etc. The skills challenge remains a burning issue, especially in the township. So the bulk of these SMEs are either self-taught or they've learned their skills from their father, their uncle or brother. And at times you do come across SMEs who are not natural SMEs by their physiological behavior, but are SMEs out of consequence and out of a need to earn an income, but are not SMEs by design, are forced or thrust into being an SME at these township hubs. And that's where they tend to struggle. And at times the output of hubs can be less than expecting because of these challenges that we overcome. So I want you just to maybe tell us a bit about, you know, the probability of success and also the conversion rate. I know you mentioned very well about the number of learners that are coming out of your center. In your experience, you know, how many of them are going into a successful and prosperous life thereafter in terms of your percentage? Are a lot of them finding employment? Are a lot of them getting into entrepreneurship themselves? Can you give us some sort of view as to life after graduating as an artisan that you have experienced firsthand from your learners?
Thank you very much, Dineshan. Let me start on the concept that you touched initially about the hubs. When the Harankua hub was opened, I was there officially by the former executive mayor, Hoshiensu Ramokgopa. And my take, even from that time, I think it was around 2012, that time we lacked the exit plan, because the hub is supposed to have a limited lifespan. And then from there must be the exit plan. We are taking people, as you indicated, from the township. They were operating from the corner. They were operating from next to the spare shop. When they spend 3 years in the hub, when they go back, they no longer have that corner. They've been used to the machinery that is world-class. We need to have the exit plan of where do they go. That is why sometimes they will not want to get out of the hub, like what happened in the Harankua one. So if we have the exit plan from the beginning and have the market access for them, and as indicated that the government is now saying we must be the first to get serviced from those entities, then it helps a lot. Then when coming to the question of the ones that come from graduate, luckily for us, all our graduates are employed. Some are employed by Kgabo as we grow. The others are employed by the higher education TVET college, like one is in Ekurhuleni West TVET college, training the apprentices. The other one is at our Soshangube community college, who was our top guy. The others, there are 3 that open their own, and the others are employed by the big companies. We have few at Imperial, we have some at McCarthy, we have the others at Ford. So we don't have anyone that is sitting at home. And we're still happy. And because there's still a gap, that's why we want to train more. But as soon as we see that when we train, they are not going anywhere, then we will have to change. Even now, we are busy moving into the electric vehicles. We are also diversifying a bit, saying with the electric vehicles, there are going to be fewer cars to service. Then we are also now adding on the panel beating and the spray painting side as our business. On that one of cooperatives, we tried it, we asked the others to say, if you want to, because I identified those that showed potential. And then I interviewed them, and then there were about 7. We started it, but after qualifying, it was a matter of some are typical employees. It was just left with 2, and then the 2 and myself, we formed another company, which we running so that they can be independent at some stage, but we're still supporting them. Currently, there are 9 ladies, young ladies, 8 are qualified motor mechanics, 1 is a plumber. We are busy, we have registered individual businesses for them. Now we are encouraging them to work as a cooperative, to have a cooperative, but they will be under Kgabo Cars for 2 years to help them. And then on the 3rd year, we'll train them on how to train apprentices from TVET colleges. And that we are going to do, and we're going to be looking for partners to assist with funding, and we are going for the city of Tshwane to help us with the workshop, where we need one workshop to be run by ladies, to be called Ladies Motor Workshop. That's where we are going with these young ladies.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for the responses. I'll hand over back to you, Daniel, for the next presenter.